Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a little while. I've been trying to think about, but yeah, it's been a secret slightly, about content and things I wanted to do on the channel. I know people have been quite interested in the acetone video that I made the other week now, I think it was, maybe 2 weeks, it's been a while. But I thought I'd make a brief video about sharpening, because sharpening can be a little bit troublesome sometimes if you're getting stuck and your tools aren't working properly, or you don't know how to keep them sharp, and you're just wondering about, you know, that kind of thing. So, I'm just going to look at the camera quick, see what bloody hell we're looking at here. I think we're in focus. Don't know. I've got a bit of a funny angle here, but trying my best. Right, cup of tea, most important thing of all. Chairs on a wobble. So you're looking at basically where I sharpen. So it's just next to my telescope, but I'm not looking at the moon. Microscope. I should go over a little bit about sharpening. So I have these templates. You should be able to see that in the video. These are 3D printed, these, and basically the hole's not really for any purpose, it's just to less material. I did go briefly over templates and sharpening in a previous video. I think it was in my starting engraving video, I think, but I didn't go over it too much and didn't show you kind of what I was really using now, currently. So on these templates that I have, they've just got, I'm using an M8 bolt, I think you can see, an M8 bolt, and these templates, I've threaded them. I've threaded them all the way through, and I've just made these on CAD, basically, and print them out. And it's just an M8 thread with an M8 bolt, basically, whatever, I can't remember, I think they're just bolts, yeah, M8 bolts. And on that, and then I've just drilled through the bolt using the pillar drill, and then on top I've just got a small kind of grubby kind of screw, or small screw, that just holds my tool in place. I haven't got a tool to hand, but you can imagine, you know, that goes through there. Then I can set my distance off my template. On this particular one, if you're interested, I set it flat, and usually you're 30mm off your template that you're working from. So in this case, I'll take the depth of my bolt away from my 30mm, so the head of the thing's about 8mm, so I measure from there out 22mm, and that gives me my distance. And then put that in there, lovely jubbly. Then I can use that, and then I can tighten it up wherever. Set your distance, set your thing, and you're away. So if I'm sharpening on, my initial sharpen is on that's a 120, I think, 120 grit diamond lap wheel. You can get on eBay. I think they're about, they're literally like maybe £10, less than that, £6, something like that. Hardly anything, and they're bloody good, You go for, get this one, get 100 grit or 120 or something like that, and also get, I've got a 3000. Just literally went from 6k, no, sorry, 6k. A 120 to a 3000. You could probably go in between if you really wanted to, but I have found, honestly, not much difference. You might find some slight more wear on your 3k wheel after going straight from that, but I haven't noticed that much, and they're dirt cheap, honestly, they're so cheap. So you've sharpened your template, you've done your, sorry, I've got the little one as well, which also has a little 8mm thread on it. So you've got that, and you can use that to do your initial shaping on your 100, and then I'd recommend doing that, and then switching over your wheel, doing your face on there to do your polish, your brief kind of starter polish on your 3k. Get that down, then unscrew your thread, move over to your face and your heel template, then doing your if you want to, you could do your heel. You could do your face first. You could do your this angle first, and then that gives you your correct rotation from when you're putting your tool back in. You could reset it to your flat, so you know exactly where you are, and then you can work off that. And you can do your or your other shaping with your smaller template. So there you go. You've done that. You can then remove your tool, take that out, and then you're done with this section. You can do all this. All this is all a little bit fancy, but it's very much doable. You could just do this with a normal diamond stone or anything really. You could have something like this with a bit of you can get these. You can get something this similar shape with like a diamond top on it, which would work perfectly. And this is actually 1/2 inch, so you could just go straight onto that off a flat surface, which would be perfect. But this, if you're interested, I did mention it. It's an old whetstone wheel. Basically, you turn on its side, and I've removed the old stone wheel, which is this. Remove that, flipped on its side, and put my diamond lap wheel on it, which just has some spaces in there now, just to hold it in tight. And this is just a little bit of framework, just some old knobs and everything, just to set my height on here. You could use anything on that, a little block or something to bring it up to the right height. Yeah, and then that's really it for that bit. I'll tell you what I'll do next. If you want to get some real nice bright cuts, if you're bright cutting, for example, engraving, if you're bright cutting, you really want to get that mirror polish down to a T, and you really want to get it nice and bright and shiny. So for that, I recommend what I've got now is basically I'm set this. All my work here is set on a big plane of glass. It's all toughened glass. I think it's like 8mm glass, which you usually use for like for doing like chisels or anything like that. You've got a real dead, solid surface to work. So there's no give or pressure on the material you're working off. Getting a bit hot here with this bloody heater. Yeah, so you might be able to see. I think you can in the camera. I'll have a look again. Yeah, you can see. But basically, it's still recording? I think so. Yeah, I believe I am. I then take your bit done that you've done, and put your tool back into your template, your main, your heel heel and face template. I then got basically what I've got, which is this is the best way I think is doing it. Instead of going through all the bloody you can go through multiple different stones of polishing, but I find it's just a bit of a faff. So I've got basically it's quite a known thing, but it's usually done for like chisels and stuff like that. I've got them here. I'll get one of these as well. Basically, this is like lap paper. It's like lapping paper for like it's really fine stuff. So this is like 1 to like what's this? 1 to about 40 micron. This stuff, which is really quite fine stuff, and then you've got this stuff, which is from about 9 to 100 micron, which is slightly more coarse. But I got this online, and I'll shout them out a little bit. They're quite hard. It's quite difficult to find this stuff in cut pieces that are decent size. But I've got this from a place called Workshop Heaven. I think it's a UK-based website. Yeah, it looks like it. But it's really good. They have like a little starter pack on there that you can buy, and it's all backed. It's all PFA backed aluminium oxide. So you can basically just what I've done here is I've just cut a little piece out. I don't know what that is. What's that? 50-60mm long and about 30mm wide, and just stuck it onto this glass because I've set this glass 1/2 inch off my work surface. So it's actually really is ideal. And then I basically just run across these different courses. So I start off at I've got 2 of these more coarser ones, which I've got I think that's a 15 micron, and then I jump down to a 9, which I used to use 9 all the time just for everyday product, like all my polishing. But now I've got this, and it's actually a million times better and easier than how I used to work. So I start at 15, I move to a 9, and then I drop down to my lap paper, which is a 3 and a 1. And 1 micron's literally nothing. You might as well be rubbing on a bit of glass, but it's bloody good. And I can just get that, and I can start here, work there, work this one, work back until you kind of get the. It might be a bit overkill, but it's effective and it works really well. So that is how I do it now, and it really does work perfectly. And I would definitely recommend setting up something like this. Not all you have to have all this. You don't have to have a massive bit of glass. You could just have a little bit of glass with a bunch of courses stuck on it, and you can just work your way across or whatever you think you need, depending on what kind of work you're doing. Really, it's a lot easier than working your way down with polishing on bloody high grit, like 10,000 grit diamond stones and Arkansas stones and all this kind of stuff to get a polish, when you could just work on some fine coarse paper stuck to a bit of glass and it works exactly the same. So yeah, that's how I do it. And you might be able to see, I don't know, but this is what you probably can't see anything, but basically my face on that, you can basically see yourself in it. It's like the mirror in your bedroom. That's kind of how polished you can get it. Yeah, so that's kind of it really. It wasn't supposed to be a very long video, but I thought it might be quite interesting for people to know. You might already know, but some people don't, and it's quite an interesting thing to learn about and know about if you're into this kind of thing. So again, yeah, if you want to find this stuff, it's Workshop Heaven, UK company, and it's like £10. If it's all that material, that'll probably last you a lifetime. £10, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sheets with the different courses, one of each course, sorry. Yeah, and it will probably last you, God knows, forever. And it's only a tenner instead of how much you can spend on bloody diamond stones and all this nonsense. But there you go. Yeah, so perfect. That's it really. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've got a few in the back. I've got a few things coming up that I kind of want to do, but they're a bit more time consuming, and I'm kind of busy at the moment with work and all this, so it's quite hard to get out and record all the time. I'm still working on little bits. I've got little bits in the background that I'm working on little projects, so keep an eye out for videos that are popping up, and subscribe and like the video if you did, and leave a comment. I'm interested to hear what people are thinking about engraving at the moment, and kind of if they've got any questions about my work or how I work or anything like that, or any questions about sharpening, anything really. I'm just keen to have some feedback, just about kind of know what people are doing, and if they've got anything they could share with me, that'd be great. But for now, I'll leave you with it, and I'll see you guys very soon, hopefully. Thank you.